fired up for a cure started following.
Old leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. He's chasing the beer. The trick of the lips, play ball. Play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall. Play ball.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives. Live here on Strong Island TV and Facebook Live. It's nice to be back with my brothers over here. I was away for 2 weeks. I'm doing my thing, sharing my knowledge around the country. I have so much knowledge. I know. I couldn't go any further than that.
You do have a lot of knowledge.
Well, you know what it is? I don't have a lot.
You actually do. That's one of the few things I think you're good
You
at.
sell yourself short. You look like a guy who doesn't have a lot of knowledge, but you have a lot of knowledge.
I think I just got a compliment from Steve.
Yes.
Yet he still he has
compliment.
Yes, he has the ability to make me go, oh.
No, you look like
You know,
a guy. You look like a guy who maybe should be laying slices of pepperoni on a piece of raw dough.
Which I've done.
In some
What you
rundown,
done?
in some ghetto pizzeria.
Yeah.
You know what?
When in
Let's
fact-
introduce Sandy before we
Yeah,
get into
let's
our
get into
nonsense.
this. Yeah.
Sandy Ellis is here tonight. Let me tell you a little bit about Sandy. She's I don't have a bio in front of me because that's what a very, very good host would do. But I
We
met
had
Sandy.
the bios last week when you weren't here.
Thanks.
The show I got fired on.
Yes, and we'll talk about that too,
I had
because
a
John
bio.
really is supposed to be fine.
Johnny.
Let's not ADD.
No, I'm good, I got
Let's
it.
get back to Sandy.
So Sandy, yeah, right. We go.
Right, we go
Sandy is
We
a
go
wonderful
off on
person. I met Sandy. Robin Fox introduced me to Sandy, recommended me to Sandy,
Yes.
and I used her on a show with Pat
Yes.
that we did last year. And it's a typical, what I call Laughter Saves Lives, blue collar show, good people, VFW Hall, I think it was.
It was love at first sight.
It was a great night, and my family, my wife doesn't usually come to my shows because she likes when I leave, so she has a privacy. And
And thank God Sandy was
fell
there.
in love with Sandy. My brother-in-law and my sister-in-law were there. Fell in love with Sandy. My daughters have met Sandy, and we asked, "Hey, Sandy, listen, would you mind coming on the show tonight?" Lives in Jersey,
Jersey.
right?
You came from Jersey.
Yeah, but you got to drive her home, so it's not a
Might
problem.
I say
just
she
found it
came-
out.
She came from Jersey and brought donuts. This is a good woman
But
right here.
pay no
I'm about the
attention.
food, people. I'm about the food. You
Pay
know
no
that.
attention to that man behind the curtain. Pat Marone is here tonight on the
Hey, how you
on the
doing?
Bust Your Balls mic, we'll call it.
Yes, I'm the Ed McMahon of the Laughter Saves Live
You know,
show.
you being off screen, you're never more handsome than you are.
Yes, well, I've got a face for radio.
Steve enjoyed that mic that 1 week. He was in a boxer stance the
I
whole
loved it.
show.
Just
you
ready,
know,
ready to jump in. It's
Pat
exciting.
looks like he's waiting for dinner,
Pat's a little
but
more laid back.
yeah, he's a little more
He
laid
looks
back.
like he should be sitting outside of the
Pat, let the
bottom
audience see
bay.
your face and your Met shirt. Just say hello. There he is. Pat Marone is here tonight. We also have Patty G here tonight. Patty, show me
Pat,
a fudge.
come on,
Patty
Show me a
G.
fudge. Get in there a little
You
more.
gotta
A
look
little
at
more.
below it. Below
Yeah,
the
look
screen.
below. Look below. Oh, no, down.
Down, boy.
Oh,
All right,
all right.
All right, Patty,
All right,
your pinata's hanging a little over there.
So, it's a good week. I want to talk a little bit about my week, but I get carried away with my week. Patty, you want to talk anything about what happened to you? It's just something quick because usually it's not that good.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I had a nice fun show Saturday night in Jersey,
That's right.
Rockaway, with New Jersey. With,
Who was on the show?
Carrie Karavis, Joe Bronzi,
What a lineup.
and
That's a good
Mick
lineup.
Blazinski, a nice guy from Milwaukee, nice guy. Well,
I know
think
his
he went
father,
there
I
originally.
haven't seen Bronzy in years. He's phenomenal.
Joey's
Yeah.
very good.
Joey's
yeah,
very good.
Yeah. It was fun.
Good show. You
I've
had
seen a lot. I
fun.
love Carrie.
Great night. Yeah.
And you had a good set.
I had a good set. It was a
Good.
fun night. Real all around fun night.
Good. How about you?
I had an awesome week. I was fired from the show last week.
I mean,
while John
no,
was
bad.
No.
somewhere else, and then I got rehired because of a little.
Well, no,
contractual-
there was no
You-
rehiring.
you
There
got-
was
never got rehired
You're
yet.
just showing up tonight. Now, what am I going to do? So the board of directors is a little upset that you were talking about another bookish show, Rick Morgan. We love Rick Morgan. But, you know, you were talking about Rick
Not really.
Morgan shows with Joe Maffa. And it was like, hey, what shows you got coming up? Well, I'm working with Rick Morgan. So, you know, it was a little unsettling. And then Joe Moffat started talking about the Laughter Saves Live show, and
Well,
you guys cut him off.
If you can relax the 90-year requirement in between shows, I'd be on more Laughter Saves Live shows.
That's right.
And I wouldn't have to.
Maybe you'd write
9-year
more material. He's
He's an
trying to
upperly
inspire you.
mobile
John's
business.
trying to
I worked for
inspire
like
you.
9 different bookers. that
Uh-oh.
all booked
He's
me.
trying to make it to the top. And
You
it's,
did
know,
like Trump.
he won't forget us.
I work with like 9 bookers.
You can't
They're all
help yourself.
terrific. I love all the bookers.
He wakes up like this in the
All the
morning.
bookers.
Got to do the accordion.
And they book me because I do a good show. Okay, I do it.
Listen,
Well-
if I was getting booked by a headline, I would dump this show so quick. No, I'm just kidding. But I,
I
mean,
believe it,
you
I
know,
We
believe
should start our own show.
So we're
Called-
not going to
called-
see that
what would the
then.
show be
So
called?
we're stuck with
Steven
you.
So says
Save
the man
laughs.
with the Mets. Pat's slouching over there like you're sitting in front of the Bada Bing on the Sopranos or something.
We should do
Look
that,
at him.
Steve.
He's kicked back. He's.
All right, hold on 1 second.
We should spin
Hold
off
on.
and do our own show like the Jeffersons. Right?
what would you call it? The
It
Jeffersons?
would be Steven Santos Save Laughs.
And you're moving
Pete,
on
now,
up.
what would you call it? What would you call it? You,
What would I
wait,
call
help me before you
Notice I
answer.
put his name
Listen
first.
to me before you
Yes,
answer.
I'm a giving person.
This man is a brilliant writer on the spot.
That's why I want
Watch what he's going to come up with here. If you had a show with you and Santa on it, what would look at his mind working? What would you call it? Watch this. Watch this gem.
I see the smoke coming out of his ears.
Finally, we don't got to work with Pat Marone's show.
All right. The only reason I won't leave this show is because it's a great show, and I don't want to
Good
be like
people.
that idiot Dave Caruso who left NYPD, left the 1 year, and was mediocre. So I'm
Is
staying
that
right
amazing
here.
that he left that show?
I'm staying right here. I'm afraid to move.
And staying mediocre.
Sandy-
Yes.
If I do a
yes.
solo act, I'm not leaving Fleetwood Mac. You know what
All right,
I'm saying?
hold on.
I'm like
Sandy
Stevie
came from
Nicks.
Jersey.
He's
So-
not touring with them. Did you hear that?
Who was
Who?
it?
No, Lindsey Buckingham got fired.
Yeah. He got fired. How do you fire Lindsey Buckingham?
How do you find John Santa?
How do you fire a guy that I
They've
thought
been
was
around
dead?
for 60 years. How do you fire them now?
Listen, I thought the man passed away, so the fact that he was in the game to get fired is a plus.
But let me just finish off my week because we got to let Sandy
Buckingham.
talk.
Oh yeah, we got. I want to hear about Sandy's.
So I had a great week because
Good.
even after I got fired, this man whom I love, we did a show together in East Quogue.
and he did a wonderful job as always.
Of course.
Thank you.
I still have a tear in my eye that you're fired because
Money in the bank.
I love him.
Money in
I
the
love
bank.
it.
Money in the
Business is
bank.
business, right, Pat?
But money in
Look
the
at
bank
this.
minus 130,000 for Stormy Daniels. Am I right?
And who else was on the show? Tell them who else was on the show and did a wonderful job.
Maria Walsh was on the show.
She did a
Oh,
very
she's
nice
awesome.
job.
Very nice job. And now new material I hadn't seen before, killed as
Yeah.
always. And I was in tears. Matt Burke was very funny.
Now Matt
Matt
Burke is a
Burke.
very you know Matt Burke, right?
Yes.
Matt Burke, very different act.
very
because-
cerebral act.
Yes, Maria was like, she had a little energetic or whatever, and then Matt stepped on the stage. And what I love about comics like that, he stepped on the stage and immediately he owned the stage. He just said, you know what, you're gonna wait for me. Even though Maria was killing, bada bing, bada bing, bada bing, like he got up there and he went, and you would love him because he's a good writer.
I've seen
He's a
that.
very good
Very
writer, very
cerebral.
clever.
Yeah.
And
Very-
John
I'm gonna
did
work with him.
a
I'm gonna work with him June 25th.
My set wasn't
You are?
good.
John did a
I didn't
short
like my set.
You killed.
Oh, I didn't kill.
The new baby material, the material killed. And of course, my impressions. I mean,
You're not going to get more gigs, John.
They're the
You
best.
don't have to
Sandy's here
praise
tonight.
John. We all know his act. You don't have to build him up. You're
but
not
there was
getting more
one woman.
gigs.
There was that typical woman in the front row that never laughs.
The one that I had on video, that one?
Yeah.
Oh,
sister
She
was
didn't
there?
laugh for shit.
That
But when
was
I was
his
in
cousin.
hey,
front
guys,
of the
hey, Patty,
Got it.
what kind of show, right?
What the saves
So I went up to the.
Oh, she was out of her mind.
I went up to the lady and I said,
I seen it.
"What kind of show?" She went like this. I go, "We rehearsed this. What kind of show?" And her husband went, "Oh, I was live," because he was I
felt
think upset
bad.
with her.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, she wasn't going along with it. Now I wasn't watching her when you were up there. Was she laughing?
She didn't laugh, but as soon as I started doing my impressions, like she didn't like my wife jokes because she looked like one of those
Wives.
that don't like the wife jokes.
Wives.
A wife, but most wives like this is
How old of a woman might
But
I
my
ask?
impressions.
She
about
was
50s,
probably.
She's not single,
50.
John, Steve. Don't
But
worry
the
about it.
impressions they like is they're
old of a woman?
They're neutral.
There's a reason I'm asking.
But let's let Sandy talk a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
She came from
I-
New Jersey.
You know, this is interesting. We introduced Sandy
Yes.
15 minutes ago.
Yes.
And this is ridiculous.
Now we're only
I'm
coming up
leaving.
on 10.
But we're saying,
No,
but she's
don't
moved.
leave.
They're building around with the
Sandy,
week.
tell
She's
us about
gonna
your
go.
background.
All right,
Tell us about
all
your
Wait,
background.
hold on.
First, can I just comment, like,
Yes.
as comedians?
You can do whatever you
Do
want.
we not only, all we see is the person that's not laughing. Everybody around
Yes.
them could be
Good point.
laughing.
Yeah, you're right.
We see that person that's not laughing.
Right.
Sit in the freaking front.
Aggravates the shit out of me.
Why
It
sit in
just
the
does.
front, right?
I said to a guy once, he laughed in the middle of my show. I go, "You haven't laughed all night long." Okay. I almost went over to him and like he laughed at one joke out loud. I'm like, "Oh wait, welcome welcome to
That's
the
why.
show.
How do
That's
you
why I
handle
try
it?
not to look at the
Other than
audience
that,
because
is
they're
there
all not laughing.
It
when I'm on.
drives me nuts, but you have to kind of go with everybody that's with you. You can't pay attention to
Don't
one.
pay attention. Right?
Perfectionism.
If you got to go with everybody that's there.
Because everyone's laughing.
Right.
And you want
Right.
everyone to laugh.
What are
Right.
some other
That's-
ways that you've handled it?
You know what? I
Throw
have
them
to
out.
tell you.
How long are you doing stand-up?
I'm doing stand-up 15 years. I completed
15?
15 years in April 1st.
You're
April
twice
1st.
as funny as me, and I've been doing it twice as long as you, so I suck.
What other
I-
ways have you
I wouldn't
handled
say
that
that, Sean.
person besides the way you just described?
What happens is there's two ways you can handle it. You can go at them for the laugh, a little bit,
Yeah.
and you try. And then if you see you're getting shut down and nobody's really in on it, you got to move on.
Ignore her, because
you have
nobody
to go,
sees her.
Go with the
Right.
love. You go
Right,
with the
right.
love.
Sandy-
You stay
Yeah.
in the love.
Sandy, I have to ask you one question, not to take, and it's a good one. I saw that video of tell the audience, I saw that video of you on the Joey Bayhouse show. You won some contest or
How long
something.
ago was that?
When I started, I entered this contest called Dream Jobs. And what happened was, this is when The View first started. So, it's hard to say because in such a politically based world now, when you mention The View, they say, oh, it's this,
Yeah, it
it's
wasn't
left,
like
it's right.
that back then.
It was not.
Yeah, and
It
I
was
liked your
Barbara
video, that's why I
Walters,
said it.
It was,
I was on in
Star
2001.
Johnson. You were too, right?
Yeah.
For the firefighters, right?
Yeah, and they were wonderful, except for
Was that
Star
the hunks?
Jones.
Were you
Star
one of the
Jones.
hunks?
I was on the hunks one, and I was on the comedy one.
Well, let Sandy finish the story.
Yes.
Get a nice
Star
story.
Jones
story.
wasn't friendly to me, but she was friendly to my friends because she was in the middle, like they were in the middle of things. Meredith Vieira was probably the nicest one. I worked with Joy, and I sounded kind of like Joy in a way.
Right,
But what
right.
happened was it was the way it worked out. It was kismet because I sent them an email, and a lot of people sent this email, but there was the worm virus at the time, and the producer was out in
Pat had that in the
California.
80s.
Yeah,
No,
kind
that
of
was
like
a tapeworm virus. I had that at the sushi.
It wiped out everybody's email but me and a woman from Pennsylvania.
Really?
Yes,
That's
yes.
fate.
So, you know what?
That was
I
fate.
was meant to do it. I was
Yeah,
meant to do
that's
it.
You know
It's
what?
my only
It was
TV
great.
show.
It was great. I watched the video. I enjoyed it.
It was a fun time.
Kismet.
It was fun.
What's the kismet?
I don't know what it means.
Because
but
it's
I've
like
been using
karma.
that word
I
a
think
lot
it's like
lately.
karma type thing. or
Kismet's
like,
a beach over in Fire
Kismet.
Island.
Like, when you
yeah,
met a
kismet, like
Nude
it's
beach?
meant to
I don't
be.
know. I never been there.
Kismet. It's
I hope
kismet.
not.
But you guys are
You missed
too
that one,
funny.
huh?
Sorry,
He said a nude beach.
No, I didn't say
okay.
nude
He
beach. You
says, I've
said
never
nude
been
beach.
there. I said, I hope not. That was a little dig. I
Yeah.
guess.
Well,
This is a
you
crazy
get-
crowd here.
It
I
is.
gotta
All right, so
tell you.
I'm gonna talk about my week. That'll take up the rest of the show.
I wanted to follow up on something Sandy said.
Wait, and we got to finish with Sandy, but we
All
can't
right.
forget that we have the awesome segment from Pat G coming up on Pinatas.
All right, we'll get to
Pat
that.
wanted to do a segment on
hope we
Pinatas.
get-
And just
I have
let's
so many
clarify
pinata
that it's Pat
questions.
G, not Pat Marone.
All right, but before we move off of Sandy, I
Yes,
wanna-
it's still on
one's,
Sandy.
one's funny,
What's
one's
your
not.
question,
Hold on,
sweetheart?
Steve. Let's get back to Sandy.
Let's get back to
Sorry.
Sandy. So, one of the ways that I handled that, the miserable person, I had a guy sitting there arms folded the whole show. Right, he was just a miserable little bastard. Right?
Okay.
So I decided that I didn't want him to laugh at this point because I was doing well with the rest of the crowd. So after I got like a couple of applause breaks and I got a standing ovation when I left, I went up to him and I went into Tony Soprano. I go, "They loved me, you miserable fuck," and I walked away.
Oh, we just went to,
That's another way you can
oh,
handle
we just
it.
went to MA again. What is it?
Oh, did
Mature
we? Yeah,
audience.
but
Yep.
it's Tony Soprano. You
Or
gotta
a
say
peach-
the
No, you probably scared the shit out of him.
I
Good.
did. I scared
I
him.
just
Oh,
ignore them.
Who did
Just-
that?
nobody
Zuckerberg?
else sees them.
Zuckerberg
You
just
know?
did that to us.
I usually do, but that guy rubbed me the wrong way. Like, 'cause he was like
It's all we
talking
see.
during the
I
show.
just assume, unfortunately, they cannot hear.
Right.
And
There's
that's why
500
they're not
people in the room.
laughing.
We're focusing on this.
That's the
schmuck.
problem. Because when we were firefighters, there was a big sign in the firehouse, and when you drove the fire truck, you were chauffeur. There was a big sign that said, "He's not ignoring you. He's deaf."
He's deaf. But why are these miserable
so when you're
bastards
honking
come
the
to
horn,
comedy
Oh.
somebody's not. So I just assume that that's the issue if somebody's not laughing. Although
And just for
although
the-
they can read lips, so that's shut
But why
down
do
pretty
these
much.
miserable bastards come to comedy shows?
Because
Stay home.
they're dragged along with.
I
with
look
Oh,
at
with
it
the
this
wife?
way. If you concentrate on that person, you're robbing the other
Yes,
audience who
yes,
are laughing.
Of
Exactly.
your
Yes.
beauty.
That's
When
why I
Pat looks
ignore
at
him.
a tray of
That's not right
lasagna.
to do.
No.
You
It,
give him 4 seconds. You
You
can't
have
screw
to
your
go
audience.
No,
with the
I-
people that are laughing.
go with the-
You
All
have
right,
to.
next
Look at a
topic.
When I look
Let's
at a
move.
tray of lasagna, I get an erection.
There you go.
Thanks for being on the mic.
for
Thanks.
Here we go again.
I'm glad you had a mic.
No,
There.
but it's, look at it, right, Pat? Look at the tray of
Is that
lasagna. It's
hot?
half full. Not half
is that a hot
empty.
mic?
That's right.
Yes.
Oh, it's hot. Oh, that's really hot.
I was
tonight.
like, why is he talking? They can't hear him. But
I don't know. I think he just said erection.
Hands in your pockets.
So let me tell you a little bit about my trip
Let's hear
All
it.
right,
Oh, that's
I'd like,
right, you
I'd like to
went
get your
away.
opinion on my trip. And I go to San Antonio. I teach the class for the week. Great class. And what I loved about it is we're in the middle of nowhere. It's a little fire department in the middle of nowhere, getting Homeland Security money, and these guys are doing their job.
Sure they
You
are.
know, it's like
Yeah.
lousy equipment. I mean, a crappy fire station. Oh, sure, hope they're not listening. But it was old. It was old. You know what I mean? Not crappy
That's
guys.
the taxpayers, though. That's not their fault.
And they go to work every day,
Sorry,
and they're
Cincinnati.
dedicated like any other guy. So that was a good week. Then I came home. We did the show we did the show Saturday.
You know,
And-
Santos even acting like Rick Morgan now. He's
Exactly.
falling asleep. He's taking naps. He's napping along the way.
So
You know, the crappy firehouses are only matched by the crappier motels they put you up at.
you know,
You always look like you're running from the cops or something.
you know that saying: you walk with a guy, you hang out with a guy with a limp, you start getting a limp. That's
So then I
Santos.
go to Cincinnati,
Right.
staying in Kentucky, right across the river. Beautiful. Anybody's been to Cincinnati before?
Never.
It's beautiful. I was looking at the stadium right across the river. The Mets are going to be there May 5th, 6th, and 7th.
haven't been there,
The
no.
guy said he'll get us
wanna-
free tickets.
we'll go,
I got
we'll
free
go.
tickets.
Why don't you talk a
All
little
right?
faster, John?
You get free tickets.
We're gonna
So
go.
I'm pulling up to the hotel. I can't find the hotel because it's construction. And I'm going down this 4-lane street, and some guy yells, "Hey!" Just like planes, trains, and automobiles. "Hey, you're going the wrong way!" And in my head, I
you're
go,
in England?
"How does this guy know where my hotel is? You know, it's right there." Good. And then I realized that the 4
driving
lanes
the
are going
wrong
in
way?
one. Yeah, they're going in the same
What is
direction.
it, like England? You gotta go to the
I
other
did that once in the
direction?
Bronx. I wasn't paying attention. I'm driving right into
That's because
traffic.
you were running from the cops.
And one of
That's
those
why.
scooters, one of those scooter cops, he was nice. He goes, "Do you know you're going the wrong way?" I said, "No, I don't."
Do I look like I know I'm going around?
So you went to the hotel room with your
No,
burned
I
out
got
wallet.
sucked. I got sucked into
Diners
White Castle.
Club.
I got sucked into White Castle
The
again.
White Castle.
Right? I didn't want to go
They
there.
made you go, right?
Yep. No, I just ended up there. So I had the White Castle. All was good. Now I'm coming home tomorrow.
Oh, it was good that day.
All was good.
I
All was
can't
good.
eat it anymore.
No.
Yeah.
I can't.
Guys were great. Great. Oh, you get that picture in Cincinnati? It's not a big picture, not anything fancy, but another academy. They're working on
Is
their
that where the
academy.
Arches are, Cincinnati?
No, that's St.
St.
Louis.
Louis.
Oh, exactly.
And McDonald's.
Same state.
McDonald's.
Cincinnati has WKRP.
That's the McDonald's in
That's
St.
true.
Louis. So this
Oh,
is the
yeah.
academy these guys
Oh.
train at. It's a temporary academy.
Very
It's in the
nice.
middle of factories. It's not very nice. It's a mess.
No,
and
no,
again,
it's nice because it's real. That's
Yes.
that's
like
real.
the blood
But
on the
these
dumpster
guys
there. That's
trained.
good.
They're
Yeah,
training
that's
there.
right.
No matter what equipment they have. The brothers were awesome and great with the class. They want to do a show down there is the main thing here. They want to do a show with us. And I met the Newport guys.
Gotta go to
I would
the
love to
frickin'
go to Cincinnati and
Rust
do a
Belt
show
of-
for them.
We
You
got to
would?
find what WKRP was.
I only want to go if I can see WKRP. I want to see Lonnie.
That actually looks like the house that is on Sunrise Highway, the shed that you said that gets
Don't
run
you
into
think
all
that's
the
a good
time.
picture of me though, right there?
It is. That is. Did you do
Yes.
that? Did you do that glossy face thing? That
And you
I
still,
did it-
You
I-
fit
did
you
Cincinnati in there with
exfoliate?
your. With
You
your
know what I
head.
did? I did a thing called a selfie.
Nice.
It's a good picture.
A selfie.
I did a selfie.
No.
So
Now, I
thank you,
want to
brother.
know. I want to know. I have a question about your trip.
I
Why
missed the
did-
flight.
Why did you check a bag? You're there
Yeah.
one day.
Good question. I saw your
Carry on.
response.
You should be carry on. Why?
Butchie's trying to call in. He says it's not. It's ringing. He's not getting any.
No, we see it's Butch. That's why I thought
Yeah.
answering. We know
Oh,
it's
there
Butch.
he goes. Butchie's
There we
probably.
go.
Holy crap.
There we
Butchie's
go.
calling already.
Butch is- well, why didn't you check a bag? You're only there
All
one
right.
day.
So Butch, hold on one second, all right?
Fiala said, "Drop the
We're gonna
turkey,
get to
Santos."
Is that you,
No,
Butch?
I wanted to know the lowdown on Butch.
Yes, it is.
Hold on one second. So here's why.
He called.
He asked why I check in a bag if I'm going away for one day. I have a big bag. Number one, I put my CPAP in there.
What's a CPAP?
I need the
But
CPAP.
sleep
I have-
apnea. Sleep apnea.
You
Yes.
check that shit? I wouldn't check that.
Hold on, handsome face. I carry my $50,000 meter and my backpack on the plane. That's all I'm allowed to bring on the plane.
Oh,
I
I
got a
see.
$50,000 meter and all my stuff in my backpack, so I can't bring another bag.
I see.
So, and also in the CPAP bag is a bunch of chemicals that I run in the class. I'm not bringing that through security, all those chemicals.
Okay, now
so
I
I put it in the
understand.
bag, so that's why.
Perfectly reasonable.
So I missed my flight. He was the gate. He was Johnny L working. 4 o'clock flight. There it goes. I'm
Oh,
sitting.
no.
I'm sitting here.
you were
Look,
at the
Oh,
gate.
no.
You missed your
there's the
flight?
gate. Gate 12. Johnny L is. Hey, John Santo, how you doing?
At the
Oh,
gate?
Sandy, I'll see you tomorrow.
You were seriously sitting 5 feet from the gate.
Not 5 feet. About 50 feet.
Oh no.
Oh, you said it was right
Were
there.
they paging
It was right
you?
there.
No.
It was right.
That's
They-
why your
now
bag was in
they-
that special
They
place.
claim that they paged me. Here's what happened. I made a mistake. I thought I had a
Your hearing,
7:45 flight.
not so good.
I thought I had. I overslept one because I was on my good ear. I overslept one morning too. I thought my flight was 7:45, so I got to the airport at 3:20 because I wanted to return the car. I didn't want to pay for an extra day. Patty's not even paying attention to me now. Didn't want to pay for an extra day, so I got to the airport early. Work. That's what happened.
Well, you know why Cincinnati? I mean,
But you were
there's a
sitting
time. There's a time
at the
difference.
gate and you didn't.
Is that time?
I didn't. I know. I didn't know that was my
You
flight.
have to check your boarding pass. You have to
I
check
did. I checked it
over and
after my
over.
plane took off. I
No,
checked
but
the
you
boarding
have to look.
pass.
I used to fly all the time.
Yeah, but
for
you're
work.
talking
And
about
I always would look.
LaRocchia.
Oh, are they boarding
I
yet?
know.
I bought because I'm like a hawk. As soon as they call me,
Oh,
I'm.
you must be
I,
so annoying.
I
Oh,
know.
I want to
Listen,
get right
You
on.
see all my steps I was doing. I
Listen,
did a
you're
lot of
talking
steps.
about John now. He's not like Rick Morgan. He's a little like hyper and absent-minded.
We got to bring up the Rick Morgan to get on that show.
First of all, there's a time difference in
We
Cincinnati.
might as well have
right?
Rick Morgan as a co-host next week because
We should have him on
before
the
we bring
show.
Butch on. One last thing. So now I'm thinking I got all this time to kill. So I'm doing steps. I think I'm going to get arrested because I'm walking. I'm doing my
Fitbit?
steps.
Fitbit?
Yeah, I'm doing my Fitbit.
All right.
I go. You know what I'm going to do,
Sleep apnea
Sandy?
machine.
Are
put
you
it
a
on.
wine connoisseur?
I'm a drunk.
She just whines.
You really need someone to travel with you to keep
So
everything.
here's what I did,
So
Sandy.
what'd you do?
I went to the wine place.
Yeah.
Butch, you still there?
I'm here.
All right, we were hoping
He-
you hung up by
he
now.
fell asleep.
All right, we were hoping you hung up by now. All right,
That's
so I have
disrespectful
three.
to
That's
Butch.
disrespect to our callers.
He's
We
your
love
tour-
Butch. He knows.
He's your tour manager.
We love him. So I have 3 glasses of wine I order.
Nice.
Like tasting. It's like a special thing you
Oh,
order. Like,
okay.
instead of a full gut bottle of wine, you get a third in each glass. I don't. So I said to the girl, she goes, "What kind of wine you want?" Initially, so I'm not a wine drinker, but I want to look like I know what I'm doing, right? So I go, "Let me have a red wine with ice.
Very
Can
nice.
you put that in a plastic
That's
cup
pretty
with
general.
a top and a straw?"
Yeah,
I said to her.
like that.
Red
And-
wine
and
and
she-
ice?
Yeah,
Surprised they didn't
and
go
that's
with
when
boxed
the
wine.
wine associate
even
rolled
drink
her eyes and said, "I'm not serving you, sir."
Really?
She said, "You know nothing about wine. Could you please leave?"
I happen to agree with her.
Butch Seltzer's on. Let's hear it for Butch.
Hey, Butchie!
Butchie, what do you got, buddy?
Well, first of all, I have to compliment Santo on the 20-year-old David Caruso NYPD Blue reference.
It was a beautiful reference.
Thanks,
Very
Butch.
nice.
Thank you, sir.
Very nice.
Only us old
Second
guys
of all-
got it.
Second of all, I wanted to welcome our Laughter Saves live sponsor, LifeVac,
Yes.
to being the title sponsor of our May 11th show for the Heather Pendergast.
Thank you, LifeVac. We're getting them in. They're getting it. They're getting it. They want to be more of a part of what we're doing, and we love to have them.
LifeVac is the most simple to use
Device.
device. It should have been thought of a long time ago, in my opinion. I think it's a great device. It is, right?
All
It
the
is.
EMTs except for
It's
John.
fantastic. It's fantastic.
great.
You know, the thing's saving lives. That's what it's all about.
And while you're on that, Butch, we it looks like we have a new publicist on board. Kathy, I'm meeting with her again on Wednesday. Looks like she's on board. She believes in what we're doing, and she's going to try to help us out in any way she can.
We are spreading the word, my friends.
Spreading our
Spreading
wings.
the word.
Yes. And
So we do need sponsors for our April 21st and April 28th show, right? 28th?
I don't have it in front of me.
I believe it's the 21st and the 28th.
The May 11th
So-
is the big one. That's the Pendergast fund.
Hey, Butch, you're from Jersey, right?
Yes.
I am.
Can you-
I am.
All
from
the
New Jersey.
times you've been from Jersey, you've never brought us donuts. Sandy comes one time. He comes in. I pop down a nice custard,
right.
chocolate custard donut.
It's called Boston Cream.
Boston cream? Yeah, you should know over there. Yeah, I
don't-
consulted
we don't
our
talk
donut
about
expert
Boston.
off camera, Pat Marone. He's also well versed in Italian food, Chinese food.
And the reason he's off camera is he's eating the other 3 donuts so nobody can see anything.
Yeah,
So that's what you want from me, Steve? You want donuts?
that's a token. You know, I'm just saying. The lovely Sandy brought us donuts, Butch.
Well,
You know-
if I'm ever allowed on the show, I will bring donuts from
All right, I
Jersey.
guess we're not going to get any donuts.
No.
We're kidding you.
I will take a manly hug though from you, Butch.
I will give you a manly hug, Steve.
Thanks, Butch.
Thanks for all the work you did the other night at the Gotham show a few weeks ago. You did a wonderful job that night. It was a
Thank
great night, and you did a wonderful job deflecting.
Yes,
It-
Butch, I
it
was
was a
there. It
great
was great.
And you know what, Butch? I want to say a special thank you, since there's going to be a lot of people watching this on podcast and all of that. It's not easy. It's not easy, as we all know, for a comic to go to a show they're not on. Am I right?
Right.
I know for me
what's hard
myself.
about
I do it all the time.
What?
What's hard about it? You show up, you sit in the audience.
I'm just saying that it's a nice thing to do.
He said
I'm
that
trying to
like
give a
soprano.
compliment to Sandy here, and you're deflecting.
Okay.
Okay.
He's very angry lately.
said like
Santos
him.
very
I know.
angry.
No, I
very
thought I
angry
was
lately.
going to have to do my angry bit. That's okay.
You figured he'd be in a good
I
mood.
thought
The
you-
Mets are 8-1, but he's very angry
No,
lately.
no, no, no. I thought I had to get angry.
Sandy and
Never
Les
mind.
Deegan
Yes.
came into the city to support Laughter Saves Lives that night, and I think that was
We sat,
wonderful.
thank you.
That was
Thank you.
very
We sat
nice.
at the show.
That
It
was
was a
nice.
great
That was-
show.
It wasn't about the show that I'm saying.
I thought you were
you
going
know,
the other way.
I have a hard time if it's one of my friends. I need to support him, but it's not easy to sit there. You want to be on that stage. I know you wanted to be on that stage that night. That was a great audience. So I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, and I won't
Thank you.
forget that. Just like Mike Keegan. Mike Keegan used to come to my shows before he was doing
I
much
did too.
comedy.
I did
Well, you
too.
did too.
Yeah.
And I try to take care of.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I need a little smack in the head. I
I
know
didn't
that.
do it like John Santos says to show up and try to get stage time. But, you know.
Yeah.
You know what that's called?
I never do that.
That's
No, but
called
John was
class.
pissed off that Seinfeld and George Wallace got on the stage. He was pissed off.
I was pissed
Pat,
off.
great set though.
I said
you
that.
had
Not
a
on the
great
show, you don't
set.
want to
Yeah.
Thank you.
That
Anyway,
was,
George,
that,
let's
was
let,
a
George.
fantastic set. An absolutely fantastic set.
Thank
You
you.
helped us really kick it off.
Well,
Thank
Butch,
you.
we got a few big segments to come to. We're going to be doing a big pinata set tonight.
I can't wait. I'm glued to
You
my
good?
my screen.
Do you want to go? You want to do yours first? Or you want to go to pinata first?
I think we should go to Life Fact first.
Let's do the
Let's
Life
do
Fact
Life
commercial.
Fact.
We'll come back. We'll do your segment.
Okay.
And then we'll bring on pinata.
I don't want to follow a pinata bit.
No, who
Have
wants
fun,
to follow
guys.
pinata?
All right,
Bye,
Butchie,
Butch.
take
All
care,
right, Butch,
pal.
thanks for
Thanks,
calling
Butch.
as always.
Love you, Butch.
Butch Seltzer.
Bye,
Fuck it.
Butch.
Butch is
Butch
very
has
nice.
been a big part of Laughter Saves Lives since we started out, Butch.
You know, Butch is the first person that ever introduced me as President Trump at the gala.
Oh, wow, that was fun.
And I said, thanks, Butch. You're terrific.
We
He
need,
is
Butch
terrific.
used to
we
run the
need
club in
a
Jersey.
date for the next gala.
Butch is
Yes,
the
we
real
gotta
deal.
work
He's
on
the
it.
real
you want
deal.
to you want to take the lead?
I'll try to help you as much as I can.
No, we're gonna get a party planner, but I'm saying you take the lead.
I
We're
can
gonna
help
get
you
a
as much as I can.
Oh, let's go to Life Hack. Yeah, let's go to Life Hack, and we'll come right back with John Santo in a segment on Apollo 13.
Apollo 13.
The
When
50th
someone is choking, brain damage can occur after just 4 minutes. Did you know every 5 days a child dies because of a choking accident?
My name is Art Lee. I invented LifeVac to protect my family. LifeVac is an easy-to-use suction device with a special one-way valve to help save a choking victim.
I care for my dad who's prone to choking. Having LifeVac in my home gives me peace of mind.
Protect your family. Buy LifeVac now.
Thank you, Daddy. Call 1-877-LifeVac or visit lifevac.net.
I am on live. I'm
We're
looking
back.
at it.
We're back on the
back.
We're back.
Oh, back live. Laughter Saves Lives live. Strong Island Studios, Paradise Studios, and Facebook Live. Facebook Live. We're back. John Santo has an interesting segment here. I love the history stuff, and this guy, nobody does this stuff better than Mr. Santo. He did a little research on Apollo 13. What was so famous about this flight, John, Apollo 13?
So Apollo 13 was going to be the third man landing on the moon, and it was launched April 11th. Tomorrow's the anniversary, 1970, and it was it was launched ironically at 1313, and it was Apollo 13, and the command module exploded. The service module exploded on April 13th. So there were a lot of 13s on the mission. So much so that NASA never named another mission with the number 13 ever again.
Who was on the flight?
So the crew was Jim Lovell,
Sherman Hemsley.
Fred Hayes,
Sherman Hemsley.
not Sherman Hemsley, Fred Hayes and Jack Swigert. In the movie, it was Tom Hanks, Kevin Bacon, and Bill Paxton. And they were the third man landing.
Was there a monkey on board? Didn't they used to send a monkey to space?
Pat's asleep. They used to send monkeys. That was like 10 years before the moon missions. The
So
first,
now this is the one that got stuck up there?
No, so what happened was, as they were traveling between the Earth and the Moon, almost in lunar orbit, and they stirred the oxygen tanks, and there was a very minor defect in the tank that it became exposed, and it overheated, and the two tanks exploded.
Really?
The two tanks that exploded, you ready?
Yes.
1 and 3.
Wow.
Not 2. What is it, 1 and 3?
1 and 3.
13. So, another 13.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that when they started not putting 13th floor in buildings?
No, that
There's
was
13
after
in
that.
some buildings,
Yeah.
right?
I don't have it in mind.
I used to
I have
work
a
on the
basement
13th
apartment.
floor, and
I
I didn't like
buildings
it.
have no 13.
I live for
The older buildings don't, but the newer buildings
my
do.
building was from 1960, and we don't have the 13th
Yeah, it's
floor.
bad luck. It's bad luck. Anyway, so
some Italians believe 13's good luck.
My father wore 13 as a baseball
Yeah,
player.
if they get
I'm
sentenced,
performing in my building on April 13th.
especially if they got
See, we went
sentenced for
off on a
14
tangent.
years.
Oh, we're going off on a tangent.
I'm going to the cardiologist. so
Get it back. Well, listen.
So, Bobby, can we get the black and white picture up? I'll show
Ooh,
you
we
what
got
the
pictures.
damage was to the command.
Is this the one they fixed up there by themselves?
No,
Oh,
they
wow.
fixed, no, the whole spacecraft was
See,
damaged,
the
and
messages.
Yeah, but I can't
the
see
only
it.
way the crew survived as they approached the moon, the decision was that they would not return. Bobby, can you do the picture of the figure 8 between the Earth and the moon?
Are they still up there?
No.
What do you mean they didn't return?
I'm going to talk about the whole. I'm going to tell you.
okay.
I saw Tom
Listen,
Give him
Hanks.
patience.
So they were on their way to the moon, roughly where the blue spacecraft is approaching the moon. This is the Apollo 11 mission parameter. That's the only one I could find. But anyway, so they were approaching the moon, and that explosion occurred. They had the benefit of having the ultimate in redundancy. They had another spacecraft. They had the lunar module, which became a lifeboat.
Well, John
Now,
Rocky
the
is
bad
watching.
thing about the lunar module was that it was only designed to support 2 guys for a day and a half.
Right.
It was going to take several days to get the 3 of them back to Earth. So what they had to do was the decision was made to go around the moon and then come back rather than do a direct abort, because they thought that the only engine powerful enough for a direct abort was the one on the service module, and if it was damaged in an explosion, they didn't want to take that chance. So they did a figure 8 around the moon, and then they tried to pick up some speed with the engine in the lunar module, which was the descent stage that they would have used had they landed on the moon in the Fra Mauro Highlands. So, ironically, Apollo 14 landed in the Fra Mauro Highlands, and they switched missions. Alan Shepard had that disease that you have with your ear, and he had his infection flared up. He was grounded. So him and Jim
Wait,
Lovell.
hold on. They knew that he had Meniere's disease?
They knew he had Meniere's disease.
Wow.
They cured it. So what happened was
You don't cure Meniere's disease.
Jim Lovell, Fred Hayes, and Jack Swigert were supposed, Ken Mattingly rather, were supposed to be on Apollo 14, and they switched missions. So that's Apollo 14 is when Alan Shepard hit the golf ball on the moon. In the Fra Mauro Highlands, which was 13's landing site. So 13 had to go around, and then they had to get back. Now the problem was they were the lunar module, which was built right here in Bethpage by Grumman, was designed to support 2 people for a day and a half. What happened was the crew was exhaling carbon dioxide. There were scrubbers that scrubbed the air converting it because otherwise they would get hypoxia because they'd be inhaling too much CO2.
It's low oxygen, hypoxia.
So they ran out of their CO2 went off the charts because the scrubbers were overwhelmed because they were only built for 2 people for a day and a half. They were supporting 3 for almost 4 days. So they said, what about the scrubbers on the command module? The scrubbers on the command module was square, and the ones on the lunar module were round.
No, that's what I'm saying. They had to do a makeshift deal.
They had to make a makeshift thing using parts of the flight plan binder and other hoses and tubes and everything to try to construct a makeshift filter.
And Tom Hanks helped them with
Tom
that.
Hanks gave
While they were up there, they had to do all
while they were up there,
I mean,
in the movie they said we got to make this fit into the hole for this using nothing but that because that's all they had on board.
Oh my God!
So Bobby, can you show the next one, which is the fiery? So this is the reentry. So what they were worried about was because that explosion damaged the service module right up to the heat shield.
Right.
So they were worried that the heat shield now was going to go, and they were also worried that even if they survived reentry, that their parachutes, which had been frozen, might be 3 blocks of ice.
You know what's very interesting and relevant to that picture? When I was a kid, I shot my sister in the ass with a Roman candle.
Same thing.
And it looks similar to that.
And the whole, it just reminds me, the whole story reminds me of what you're saying.
What you're saying, right?
Yeah, so I understand. It's not as technical. It's not as technical of a story.
Right.
But I.
Bobby, can you put that picture back up?
I know the Roman candle.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
I'm
This is
saying?
very interesting now. Let's go with this. So, Steve, what was the damage in this case?
In my sister's case?
What was the damage in his case? Let's see, because you described it. No, in this case.
What was that?
What was the ass damage in this case?
Her fat rump was blistered for a week. You kidding me?
Why'd you have to say a fat rump?
Because I don't want to say ass. It's inappropriate.
Oh, okay.
Your sister just tuned in.
You get piles from that, right?
Those are the best.
Okay, go ahead.
So
Listen, you got to go ahead because you're about 2 minutes away from
All you
pinata.
space cadets out there,
You're
pay
about 2 minutes
attention.
away. He's about
I'm
2
gonna
minutes
watch
away. Go ahead.
Apollo 13 now.
Hold on.
Well, maybe the video.
Hold on. He's going to wrap this up nicely.
If I could be permitted to finish my
Yes,
report.
sir. Of course.
What's happening here is this is a re-entry. It's a different spacecraft. It wasn't Apollo 13, but you can see the heat builds up to about, on a lunar re-entry flight, about 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And what happened now? They don't come straight down. They're entering the Earth's atmosphere at about 400,000 feet. That's entry interface, which is 400,000 feet. They are in that fireball in radio blackout with Houston till about 200,000.
Remember
feet.
watching these things and then they'd go to, they're in radio blackout and you'd be so, you remember that?
They're in
I don't know
radio
how old you
blackout.
are. I'm 59. You remember that, right? You would be watching. How old are you? How old are you?
64.
60 what?
57. I didn't hear no sixes.
I'm deaf.
I said 60.
Oh,
So they were in radio blackout, and as they re-enter the atmosphere, you see how the sky is black and just below is blue.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
That blue eventually becomes darker, and then when they come out of the re-entry, they're now the sky. The blue is mostly above them. They're out in the atmosphere.
Amazing.
You see how the blue, the difference between the dark, the Earth horizon and the black, and there's a little blue. That's our atmosphere. Our atmosphere is so thin. That precious little atmosphere is all that protects us from the vacuum of space.
Very good.
And that's it. And that's all there is. And
Very
this crew,
Very
the crew
interesting
splashed
stuff.
down. I'll finish it off. Thank you.
Oh, you're finished.
I'll finish off with this.
Yeah,
I met my wife on April 13th, which is the day the explosion ripped through the command module, service module rather,
And your life was ripped through. Right?
And I was like, oh shit, this is bad luck. I'm meeting this chick on the date Apollo 13.
Right.
And our first date was the date that April 17th.
An explosive date.
Which was the date Apollo 13 returned safely to the
Very nice. Very lovely way to wrap that up.
That's Kismet.
John,
That is Kismet, Sam.
Here we go back to Kismet.
John, can you fire him again?
And this is a space. This is a space pen.
Please.
This is designed to write
something.
We're going to bring Patty. Come out
writes
here.
upside down.
Bobby.
Oh, and you know what has a space pen? Jerry Seinfeld.
That's right.
He
Bobby,
does.
I
can
thought
you
you
bring
were
up
right.
I'm gonna watch Apollo 13.
the show on May 11th?
Go watch Apollo 13. It's on the Netflix.
I'm gonna
Yes.
watch it.
May 11th, the show that Butch was
moving
speaking
over?
about.
Step off.
Life Back. No. Life
moving
Back.
over?
Was it when we could back
Oh, no,
up?
Bonnie.
Life Back is
Magic
sponsoring
Mike.
this show. Also on the show is the following. Also is on the show we have Anthony Kempfer, who's a very funny guy. Plays the guitar, but he doesn't sing a note. He does all these jokes while he's strumming.
He is very funny.
Who else do we add on this show? I think we added Eric Half.
Hello. Eric Cap's the real deal.
Eric Care's great.
And somebody else. With
He's
that flyer
awesome.
will be here next week. So please support that show. Come to that
Who's on
show.
the show again?
It's Anthony Kempfer, Eric Haft, and I hired somebody else. I can't think who it is. And I think one of you guys is going to be on it, whoever hasn't done it. So 2 free tickets to the May 11th show. We're going to give, what's her name, 2 free tickets? That won the 2 free tickets
Yeah,
for the
what
show
the hell
we canceled.
is a rat?
Of course she's not listening anymore. We gave her 2 free tickets and we canceled the show.
She didn't even show
Here's the
it.
question. We'll do this on Facebook. Whoever answers this question first. Are you ready? The oldest player to hit a home run was 47 years old and 240 days old. Who was that player?
Julio
He hit the home
Franco.
run on April 20th, 2006. Callers. This is
Oh.
for the callers.
Bartolo.
Not for Pat to blurt out the answer.
He talks too much.
He was on the New York Mets, April 20th, 2006.
thought we
First
were playing
person,
a game. I thought we
first
were playing a
person to
game.
answer on
Play the
Facebook.
game. Play the game. Remember that?
Pat,
One flew over the cuckoo's nest.
so we've reached the
But the
point.
answers and Gary Cohen give out the answers during the show.
We've
Yeah, but I
reached-
think after the
Doesn't mean I'm
commercial.
right.
We've reached the point of the show where we're going to do a pinata segment. This is the last Laughter Saves Live show.
Santo-
If we're resorting to
Santo,
pinata segments,
My
No show
mother
has
said
ever
that
done
was
a
a great
pinata
story.
segment, all
You
right?
know
And
what?
I-
You're
I-
right.
Am I on here?
She said,
let's hope not. Let's hope not.
I'm not the
She's
pinata,
only-
just
she's
so
a
you
big
know.
fan.
Hello.
Sandy,
All right, sorry about that.
Hot mic.
is this mic on? Sandy, from what you've seen so far on the show,
She's never coming back.
would you ever come back?
No, she's definitely not.
Well,
not with
no,
donuts.
yeah, I'd come back. I would come back.
Is there
Definitely.
anything
I
else
would come
that
back as Tom Hanks because I think that.
Well, you're too young to remember the Apollo 13.
I was 10 years
Look
old. I
at
remember.
you throwing the compliments.
Listen, I have a very interesting fact. Can I share this with you?
Yes. You want to make?
I would like. You're a part of the guest.
Where I live in West
If you let
New
me
York.
talk, 3 minutes. If you don't let me talk, 14.
Okay.
Just really quickly, where I live in West New York on Boulevard East is where Alexander Hamilton had the
actor
duel
with the tan?
With Aaron
the duel
Burr.
with Aaron Burr.
Really?
Just want you to
the
know.
chalk lines?
No, not
Wow.
George.
In
Wow.
history. That's it.
Wow.
So that's a fun fact.
And people, if you don't
About
know,
me.
if you
That's
don't know,
interesting.
West New
New
York
Jersey?
is in
I
New
didn't know
Jersey.
that.
Yep.
Yes.
Famous duel.
Yep, a famous
messed up
duel,
is that?
and then he had to go back over by boat, right? They each had their, consigliere, as you would call it
Right.
back, yeah. And they had their thing, and that's where it happened.
Nice.
Very
I-
interesting. All right, let's let Patty's been
then
waiting
after
for
her,
a
would've been
while.
on
Frank
TV.
Fiala
What?
throws 2 cents in. He says, "Pinata." He says, "Wow, new lows." That's from Frank Fiala.
Well, he'll be back next week. We'll hit another low. So Patty G is going to do a segment on pinatas.
On pinatas.
I think we should have saved this for the diner.
Let Patty G do his segment. He's been
Yeah,
waiting.
he's been waiting.
Come on, Patty.
I had to pay $50 entry fee here, All right.
ahead.
Last week I'm watching the show How It's Made.
Right, how it's
Great
made.
show. How
It
they
is.
make all these how they make all these things, and they were doing the pinata.
I was going to say, let me guess, pinatas.
The pinata. Right. It's, I gave it away.
Yes.
Now the pinata in America is way different than the traditional ones that they make over in Mexico.
Okay.
Now here's the story. Okay, they believe the pinata originated in China. Marco Polo
No, the
bought it.
Mexicans did it.
They put cocaine in their pinatas.
China.
All right, this is going to
steal
take a
it.
long
It's
time.
not going to be easy. I didn't tell you.
Not going to be easy.
Marco Polo brought it over to Europe,
Right.
and the Spanish brought it.
Did you
to
ever
Mexico.
play Marco Polo?
No, I hate that. I want to kill him. Okay,
No,
the
you
Spanish
just played at
brought
the
it
pool
to
when we were kids.
Mexico and the Americas as a way to convert the non-believers into Christians.
So they use the pinata as.
The piñata has a lot of religious significance.
Okay.
I thought it was candy.
Well, it is, but let me explain.
Is it always a donkey?
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, they have
The
all
traditional
kinds.
piñata in Mexico is in the shape of a star. In the
Why?
middle of the star, okay, let me get to it.
Let me get to it.
In the middle of the star is a clay pot.
What?
Okay, that's filled with the candies. The star has 7 points that come out of it, almost like a bicycle spoke.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Number one, the pot represents the dark forces below, the chairman of hell. That's who the pot represents.
Talking about marijuana?
drug
No,
dealers and
I'm talking
deal-
about
Oh, a pot.
Bad people.
Satan.
Okay.
Okay. Now,
Evil
each
eye.
one of the 7 points represents the 7 deadly sins: pride, envy, gluttony, lust, anger, greed, and sloth.
Those are sins?
All of them.
Oh, jeez.
Well, the
That was
lust
me
are
in
not
the
so.
80s.
He
I'm
hit
just
6
amazed
out of 7 tonight.
Okay.
I'm just amazed that Patty remembered all this stuff. I mean, this is tough.
All right, now,
thanks, Pat.
now let me go on. Now, they decorated the piñata as a way for the devil to disguise himself and tempt people. Okay?
The devil's behind the
Right.
piñata.
Now, so
Build
what?
that wall.
Now, to combat the temptations, a person wears a blindfold. That represents blind faith in God. Okay? The person is spun around as a way to symbolize their confusion on earth about right and wrong.
Wow.
Sounds like
Very
50
English.
Shades.
Wait, it gets,
sounds like
it gets
50
better.
Shades
It
of
gets,
Grey.
it doesn't-
Well, we're
no,
hoping.
no, wait.
Hold on. We're hoping it gets better.
Whatever happened to just smacking a sheep
No, well,
in the
here,
butt with a
no,
stick?
now we get into the smacking
So
the
what?
shit. Okay. All
You
right.
beat the hell out of the devil.
John, so help me God, I'll never do another
No,
thing.
it's
No,
not-
come on,
Okay,
Patty,
now, listen.
please.
Now the stick,
Please.
the
do you
stick
get the
has come to
candy?
represent virtue or goodness.
Right.
The stick is used to break the arms and smash through the 7 deadly sins. Now the piñata is held high, as this represents looking to the heavens for reward and salvation. That's why.
candy.
No, the candy we're getting to.
Would you stop with the candy? Let him get there.
Oh, no, nobody talked on my Apollo 13, sir. But I should shut
Well,
up.
this is interesting.
Listen,
Pinatas.
we're talking about candy now.
We're not talking about 50th anniversary. You only had 48. It's
Where's
pinata.
my mic? Where's my mic?
No, the
Okay.
Forrest
You're
Gump movie.
Marlon just
Okay.
got 2 runs. It's
Now.
2 minutes.
If the
All right.
stick can smash through the deadly sins, it can also smash through the pot that the devil represents.
The pot
If
isn't
you can-
marijuana,
If
right?
you can do that, now they used to, the pot in the early days was filled with candy and fruits and berries. If you can smash through the spokes, you can smash through the pot, you get the rewards from heaven.
That's
The
the
candy.
That's the candies.
Or
Yes.
Salma Hayek.
Right. Now, what happened was, nowadays, in America, the piñatas have completely gone away from all the religious
Of course.
symbolism.
They just want the candy to kids.
Well, now it's for children, but adults used to participate in this also.
What's the symbolization of the donkeys? Because everybody's an
Well,
ass.
no.
Where's the donkeys come
No,
from?
the donkeys are just custom made to American things, but
That's a
that's
chooch.
but that's the religious symbolism of the piñata as it
Listen,
originally
I'll rip
started.
the head off a sheep to grab a Cadbury any day. I don't
That
care.
is-
Well, I'll,
Because
I'll,
that's all
love
that
I'll
that.
tell
counts.
you,
I like
Patty,
that.
thank you for this segment.
That's all
You
that
did-
counts
We
is the
just now
candy.
lost all our audience.
No,
It's very
I'm a very religious
Let me
man, and I
back
appreciate
the
it.
candy.
Let me
I'm a
tell you-
very religious
Yes, he
man.
is.
I think
We
Stevie
dropped all the way
I
down.
appreciate
I
the
appreciate
symbolism
that.
of
I
it.
think that, no, I think that was very interesting.
That's very
That was
informative,
Patty.
Patty.
Yeah.
Very
And Pat-
informative. I never knew
Pat,
any of
that's
that.
very
Next week, you
informative.
can do it on cotton candy, all right?
I'll do it. John said that if I do good, I don't have to pay as much to be on the show next
I
time.
think that your segment, for
Pinata.
the last
That's very
segment you're ever
interesting.
going to do, I think
Mets
it's
are
really
losing
good.
4-3.
The Mets are losing 4-3.
That's very interesting.
What?
I've never heard that story, and I like it, and I like the symbolism behind it.
I'm gonna get
No,
a pinata.
very
now.
good.
I'm gonna
Very
get
good.
it myself. with a stick.
Steve, I have another
We'll
a
get somebody
gem
else
for
there,
Steve.
Steve.
Yes, sir.
You know how the writing mind of Steve Oliva is just amazing.
I gotta slow it down. Yeah.
You
He
gotta
did
slow
a
it down.
great report on the wedding last week.
He did. I enjoyed
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I watched
The,
it.
Yeah,
the
the wedding was
viewership
good.
was off the charts.
I enjoyed the.
Who did a report on the wedding?
Hey, Steve, the royal wedding. Remember?
royal
Oh,
wedding.
yeah, I forgot about it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Pat appreciated that.
All right. There's another
If
trivia.
you had a bubble above Pat's head, there'd be a calzone
Is it
and a
Mary
glass of wine.
Jane, our girl? Who's Mary Jane?
My mother.
Oh, it's your mother, right?
Yeah, she said that John Santa was a great.
Hey, Mary. Hi, Mom.
Thank you very
Thanks
much,
for coming to the
Mary
show in
Jane.
the city, Mary Jane. What kind? Mom, I can't
Oh,
call
I
her Mary
love
Jane.
her.
She was
Well,
a sweetheart.
I
Mom,
sat
Mom,
next
Mom
to your
is
mom.
Yeah.
All right, listen. This is a
She's
trivia
been laid
question.
up ever since the show.
Nobody answered the first trivia question, right?
I gotta get
Patty,
my
nobody
own
answered the
show.
first trivia question?
No, not the Julio Franco answer.
All right, so here's
Don't you just
Guess not.
another question, but I want
Well,
Steve.
Patty G and Santa lost all our viewers.
Listen, I want Steve to come up with an answer to this question. Okay?
Yeah.
Steve.
You ready? I don't mean to put you on the spot, brother.
Nah, shoot.
It's all right,
Bring
right?
it, bring it.
All right.
Let's put in this
it's,
work.
It's a question about a piñata.
All right.
Pinata question. What kind of
No,
candy?
it's not a piñata question.
Pinata exploded like Apollo
Here's a
13.
question.
My answer is
They should have an
illegal
Apollo
immigration.
13
The
pinata.
first U.S. president to throw the ceremonial first ball was who?
Donald Trump.
But since then,
Yes, I threw it 50.
every American president has thrown out a first pitch
Mm-hmm.
except one. Who was that and why? Make it funny.
That would be Cy Sims.
Cy Sperling.
Cy Sperling, I
Cy
meant.
Sperling.
He was also the president, and
Cy-
I believe he never threw the
That
ball
was the
out.
head club.
I think
again.
Ronald Reagan never did it. He was senile.
No, I threw the ball.
No. He threw
I threw it right to the catcher.
The
think it
first
was
U.S.
Woodrow
president to
Wilson.
throw a ceremonial first pitch
Eleanor
was
Roosevelt.
William Howard Taft.
Half that
Was
fat
it really?
bastard.
He was the one that got stuck in the
Yeah, him
bathtub.
and Bales did something on
the
tape.
heaviest
Yeah.
president ever.
Yep. The only one not to throw it out was our peanut farmer,
Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter couldn't hit
Is there
the
a
catcher.
reason
He
why
didn't
he
throw
never
it
threw it
out?
out?
I don't know, but we'll have to look that up. Maybe he was
President
sick.
Carter, can you explain why?
I couldn't hit the catcher's glove. That's why I never threw the ball. My name is Jimmy Carter.
All right, so our next segment now, we're
And I
going to do a
beat
second
Jimmy Carter.
segment because I really didn't prepare well for the show. So we're going to do a second segment on piñatas. This will be done by Pat Marone. His piñatas are
His
filled
Italian
with meatballs.
pinatas are full of
Meatballs.
I
lasagna.
went to a holistic
I
doctor
fill it with
the other day,
cannoli
John.
cream.
I gotta get my own show.
What do you got, Steve? You got something?
I was just saying, we had a, forgive me, because the name escapes me.
John
Used to be a
LaRocchia.
comic.
Oh.
I tried that all the time. It never works. But she was talking about holistic doctors, and I went to
Oh, yeah.
a holistic doctor.
You did?
The
Oh,
other
Ellen
day.
Harris, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Ellen.
No,
Alex House.
Alex House.
Alex House. She was
So I went to
terrific.
one. She was great. I
wonderful.
went to one. It was very informative. Talked about dairy. Told me I couldn't eat cheese. And I go,
Why?
yeah, that's not gonna
Probably
happen.
Muriel's.
Yeah, you know. It was also. I was like, if I got to go through life, no pizza. I said, Toots, there's got to be another way.
Stand by,
There's gotta
caller.
be
Stand by,
something
caller.
else.
So you called your doctor Toots.
Did you really call it Toots?
I didn't call it. Who uses the word Toots anymore?
My name is
You.
not Tootie or
You
Tootsie,
just
it's
did.
Dorothy.
Listen.
Capital D-O-R-O-T-H-Y.
On this show, I'm
Dorothy.
very brave, but I said, okay,
Dustin
you
Hoffman.
don't want me to eat cheese ever again. You know, dairy,
Right.
cheese, that whole thing.
Now, why
Shame on
did
you.
she just said that in
Macho
general, or because
shithead.
of your situation?
Yeah, just think in general. You know, like people.
Yeah.
Some people don't
I don't eat
are
a whole lot
against
of
cow's
cheese.
milk.
Yeah.
You know, any of those type of dairy products.
You should not be
And,
calling her Tootsie. It's Dorothy. Macho shithead.
Let's see, just Steve. Caller. Oh, who's on the air?
Great Dustin Hoffman, by the way.
Johnny, it's Frankie. What's happening?
Who's it?
It's Frank.
Frankie.
Oh, Frank the actor.
Oh,
Talking about
you know what?
cheese.
You know what?
Frank the
going on,
actor.
guys?
Hold on. Let Steve finish this brilliant segment. We want to see how your audition went because you had a big audition.
Huge.
All I was going
I
to
wish
say is
you
if
luck.
we can't have any cheese, Pat's menu would be reduced to breadsticks and parsley.
Yeah,
All right?
oh,
and
he
that's
was-
the end of that bit.
That was leading up to that. Oh, that was good.
That was very good.
Frankie, so next
they
week,
can't all win.
Frankie auditioned for a pinata today. Frankie, how did it
Yes, and all
go?
the guys beat me with their stick. It was horrible.
Take it easy. How did it go, big guy?
I think it went well. You know, they told me to let me know in a couple days. You know, it was different. You know, I went in, I read, I sent in a video audition, and then they asked me to read for the same character, but for 3 different scenes.
Were you going
So
out
we'll
for
see
the
what
role of a
happens.
pinata?
What were you
go
playing?
for?
What were you playing? What's your role?
It's actually going to be a hitman.
A hitman.
Whoa.
Hitman.
Wow.
They would've told you.
From
They
cop
would've-
to hitman, you're not typecast
They would've-
anymore.
Shouldn't they
You're
have
really
told you right
stretching your
there?
range there, Guido.
Right, I broke the mold, Pat.
All right, I'm proud of you.
They would have told you if you got it. I don't think you got it.
Are you watching the show tonight? We have all the handsome guys behind the desk.
I am watching the show, and thank God Sandy's there because I don't know what else would be going on.
Well, what are you talking about? We had a
Sandy
segment
is
on
a breath of fresh air.
We had a segment on
They-
Apollo 13.
I think
48
Sandy should be on every week.
48
You're saying that
anniversary.
because I bought them donuts.
She brought donuts.
I'm not supposed to eat cheese.
Right.
can eat
And,
donuts.
But you had
Anybody
custard.
on that-
And pinatas are from Satan.
there isn't
apparently.
anybody on that set that should be eating donuts.
Thank you, Frank. Let me ask you a question.
It's true.
Frank, quick question. I'm a pretty handsome guy, aren't I?
Who's that, Steve? Yes, you are a very handsome guy.
All right, thanks very much. I was just checking.
Steve, if you're looking for a doctor, Dr. Toots is taking patients.
That's Frank.
Dr. Toots nailed me for $350. I can call whatever I want. All right, buddy?
You should have nailed Dr. Toots
25
for
years in show
$350.
business. Who do I have to shtup to get my own show?
Frankie,
Frank, good luck on that audition, my man.
good luck. What else did you call, Frank? Did you have anything else to add? Because we've resorted to pinatas, so.
And we still.
No, I just thought I would call in and see what was happening.
Yeah, it's a good
And
call.
as you see, nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we have 7 minutes left, and we're out of material.
No, we're not.
we
Don't
gotta
ever say
speak to
that.
I hope we speak to Sandy a little
Wait,
more.
can I tell you another interesting
yes,
fact
please,
about my
thank
Wait,
God.
wait,
I'm
let's-
waiting for
let's-
you to tell it to
Let's say
Sandy's
goodbye to Frank.
saving
Oh,
us.
Frank, take care.
Take
Thank
care,
you for the
Frank.
call,
Take care,
Frank.
Frank.
Thanks,
Thanks,
later.
We'll see
Frank.
you next week.
Have a nice day.
Good luck
Frank.
on your audition.
Bye-bye.
Good luck.
Oh, he's wonderful.
Sandy
that was a good
saves
call.
the show.
That was a good call,
That meant
wasn't
a
it?
lot to find out
That
his
was a good
audition.
call.
Let Sandy
He
talk.
looked good. I saw his picture on Facebook in his nice blue shirt on
Yes.
in the car.
Go ahead, Sandy.
Yeah,
Put
he's
up
not
the
really,
so
he's not
mine-
really a sharp dresser, but he tried
Listen,
to.
this is why if you ever do go up in Apollo 13,
Mm-hmm.
I need to be in that tin can because my grandmother changed Old Blue Eyes diapers. My Italian grandmother changed Frank Sinatra's diapers in
Oh, Frank.
Hoboken.
I remember that. You
Really?
used that in your act, too.
No, but she used to say, hey, it wasn't that big back then either.
Oh,
No,
Hey.
she did. I'm
Did
saying
she ever change Milton Berle's diapers?
Whoa, please, can you tell me?
As a young guy or
So
as
she
an old man?
really, she changed Old Blue Eyes?
She changed it, and Dolly, his wife, his mother
Did
was
she
a
save a
midwife.
diaper as like a souvenir kind of thing?
His father was a fireman, right? The father was a fireman in Hoboken, 1 square mile.
Wow.
Everybody knew everybody. So you went in and out of people's houses, and the Italians, they took care of
Oh,
each
God,
other.
yeah.
They were
So
crazy, too.
was she
they were crazy.
I mean, did they call them midwives back then? Or?
I don't know because
Frank's
they
a
used to
pistol.
deliver babies, and she used to just go, "Hey, we're having a baby. Let's call Dolly." Certain
Right.
people just helped people through. My grandmother,
was
my
back
Italian
then.
grandmother, she was as
All
big
right,
as
I'm
this
gonna- I'm
table.
gonna go home.
7 kids.
Where you going?
I'm gonna go home. There's no reason for me to be here anymore.
Oh, well, what's come on.
I'm kidding. I'm a kidder.
Oh,
Well,
please.
no, we're talking about
Sandy.
Frank.
I know, but I want to watch the.
Sinatra.
I want to watch the.
Now, Frank Faella asked a good question
Yes.
on Facebook Live.
Good.
He wanted to know if she changed Frank Sinatra's diaper when she was a baby or when he was older.
When he was 77 years
Oh,
old.
that's terrible.
But when he
No,
was
but she really
40.
did. She really did.
Frank's
But
a
you,
pistol.
That's very
it's
interesting.
a famous, fun fact.
Right.
You know, Not as good as the pinata or Apollo
I think it's on
13.
equal.
I think that's a better
equal,
factor
yeah.
than pinata.
Hours I worked on
What
this
would you
segment.
take away from the pinata segment? If you had to see somebody tomorrow, you go, you know what? This guy, Pat G.
Besides, Patty G did a terrific preparation presentation.
You gotta be knows.
That was a lot of.
I'm going to look at the pinata differently now. I'm
I
going to
think
look
I
at
will
it
too.
differently.
I think that should be your opening for your act. You know,
You
people say
know.
Mr.
Do a
Pinata
pinata
himself.
joke. Do a whole pinata.
Mr. Pinata himself, Patty G.
That joke would kill in Mexico.
Or Taco Bell.
La
It was a
Taco
good-
Bell.
No, it was. Thank you for
No,
preparing
it's very
that segment.
interesting. You know a lot about pinata.
Yeah.
The pinata.
It was a good
Steve
segment.
Steve did have something to say about, I think, barbecues over the summer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're getting ready for barbecue
Summer's
season. by the way.
Talk about barbecue safety.
Summer's
Hey, we got a
coming.
Met game we're going to. You know,
When's your Met
I'm
game?
going to have a pinata
Monday
in my
night. We're going
backyard.
this Monday night.
Before you bring that up, I'm sorry. They say I have a lot of knowledge with the hazardous material stuff, and that's very complimentary.
He does.
Who's they?
I've been in the, the other
me.
guys, not you. Propane.
I
Let me
tell
just
you all
talk
the
about propane for 1 second. We all deal with propane all the time, all right? The newer propane tanks, if you open up the valve without a hose on there, nothing's going to come out. You're safe, all right? Propane is heavier than air. So if the propane does leak, it's compressed in the tank. Its boiling point is minus 45 degrees, which means what? In order to keep propane in the tank, there's like, let's say, 60 tanks of propane in that little tank compressed into a liquid. But it's a gas. When you open it up, it's a gas. If your hose is damaged, though, all right, that will leak propane. So be careful with your propane, all right?
Tell them how to change the hose. They should do the water test with the bubbles.
Yes, yes. But bring it to your local guy. Just don't keep propane around. Older tanks, get rid of them, bring them somewhere.
John's address is.
Watch
Yeah,
your
don't-
hose.
Also,
Don't
tell them
store
about
them
the
inside.
spiders.
Watch your hose.
Watch
Spiders
your
like to
hose.
make
Yes.
Pay attention
webs
to your
on
hose.
propane tanks.
Yes, they do.
Spiders
In the
I was just gonna
like
say
to
that.
make
Weird.
webs on propane
Tell them about
tanks.
storing
Right.
inside.
I know this because I've never had a propane tank in my life, but I've
never
heard
did?
of it. But I am right, though, right?
Yes, but
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna
just
say that.
Be careful
Spiders
with the
build-
propane.
Don't
this summer.
store them
They're attracted
inside.
to
They're
it,
supposed
yeah.
to be stored
Can you
outside.
have a pinata around a propane tank?
Don't
No.
store them
They
in
clog
your
up
shed.
the hose.
The poor volleys.
Yes.
The poor volleys. You got a fire in your shed. The propane tank is meant to vent when it gets heated up to a certain point. Then it'll levy. Then it'll go boom. So if these poor kids who are fighting the fire, they're volunteers, they're doing the right thing. Your shed goes on fire. You got your propane tank in there. Could kill somebody.
Tell them about.
Propane?
Tell them
Propane?
what happens to that small little one that you have, and I have two in my house because I switched them when it runs out.
Right.
Tell them what kind of damage one of those can do.
A lot of damage. Let's just
Well,
say
specifically.
it could blow up the whole shed.
The whole house,
The whole
right.
house. Well, the propane will can blow up the house if that leaks into the house. The oil burner kicks on. The
Boom.
hose is broken. Boom. They've leveled houses. It's
Yeah.
leveled houses.
Well, that's what I wanted
Well,
to
when I
scare
used
shit
to
out of
clean
people.
carpets, we used propane tanks to heat the water, and man, did I clean some rugs with that stuff. Beautiful, nice.
And I think there's spiders.
I use the vacuum to get the
Folks,
Watch your hose.
folks, we've somewhat
Fortunately, pumped
denigrated
to
into
the
talking
end.
about spiders, propane, and carpet
Doesn't matter. It's a
cleaning.
buffet show.
All right,
Can I-
it's a
can
buffet
I-
show.
Can I just say one thing at the end?
Is it about Apollo 14?
Or
No.
pinatas.
If you don't want me fired, please leave a comment in the
Please,
section. Just keep
because
it
we're
in.
having a hard time with
He
this.
got up while I was walking,
all two
so
viewers.
it's totally sexual.
I am a
harassment.
John Santo fan. I do not want him gone.
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
do not want John.
There was a
I'm on
big
the fence.
campaign, and write the president, and he might call and pardon me.
Yeah, we
Now,
really like
who-
that. Morani does wonderful segments.
Who makes the deciding vote?
It's the
John? Is
board.
it you
It's the
or
board.
board?
It's the board.
Okay, it's the board.
There's no
when,
board.
when do they vote?
Patty,
The
there's
board.
no board. It's
know.
the board.
I know, it's the
It's the board.
Sandy,
But I also wrote a check to Left to Saves Lives, so you know.
He's on. He's
Sandy,
back on.
my mom changed Justin Bieber's diaper.
Shut up.
say-
Really?
Down the road, we're going to be telling this story
We are.
to some
I-
person like, you know, who, Mike.
I'd like
Justin
to change
Bieber's
Halle
diaper.
Berry's diaper,
That's
but
it.
I don't
Take
think she's
it
ready.
I would love to
easy.
change Salma Hayek's diaper.
That
Whoa,
would be
whoa.
kismet. How did I do?
You like it very
Oh,
good.
closing the show with Kismet.
We went around like a whole improv section.
So on that note, we're gonna have some good shows coming up. We got a show on depression. It sounds like it's gonna be depressing. It's not. Good information. A comic we're gonna have on. I think my daughter is coming on. I used to suffer from depression. And John Santos, since he got fired, has been very
terribly depressed.
And the reason why I did
So,
the Apollo
Stevie too.
13 segment
So you'll be
is-
on that show also, all right?
Do I have to? Can I just be at home, being depressed, watching?
Before we go, the reason I did
With a pizza, with a
the sh-
pizza
the
and a
reason-
6-pack of beer.
The reason
It's
I
the
did the
best
piece
show
on
ever.
on the moon flight
Yeah,
is
we're
because
wondering that.
John has so long of a requirement in between his shows that there will be, I will be doing Laughter Saves Lives Lunar Edition on the moon in the Sea of Tranquility, the original Apollo landing site. The next time I'm on a Laughter
That's
Saves
an
Lives.
interesting story.
That's in
Wow.
10 years.
Guys, we're going over to the Mass Peak with Dinah. Take care. Laughter saves lives. Thanks for
Bye-bye.
tuning in.
This is
That
Apollo
was fun.
13 signing
Thank
off.
God Sandy was here. That was so
Thank
much
you.
fun.
I miss
oh my
you all.
God. I'm going to go buy a pinata.
I think I got hacked.
I'm going to buy one.
Kismet. Kismet.
I think you are hacked.
I am hacked, but I think
What do you mean?
somebody's saying they replied to my story. What's
Popcorn and peanuts.
They
We're
replied to
working
my
the
story. I have no
stems.
story.
Pink cotton
It is.
candy.
Weekend.
On a stick. He's chasing the beer. The circle the lips play ball.